Welcome, 8th graders, to today's Explainer. I'm so incredibly excited to have you here. Today, we're going to look closely at an absolutely vital truth about our world, and we're going to learn how to think critically about the amazing things we literally see every single day. We're diving deep into the book of Romans, specifically chapter 1, to really understand the relationship between the masterpiece of our universe and the maker who crafted the whole shebang. Okay, let's jump right in.
Now, I want you to picture this for a second. Let's say you're walking through an art museum and you spot this breathtaking, stunning painting. Do you walk up to it and say, "Wow, what an incredibly talented piece of canvas," or "Man, what a genius wooden frame"? Well, no, that would be silly, right? You praise the artist who actually held the brush. Give yourself a second to think about that logic. It makes perfect sense. We naturally give credit to the actual creator rather than just the created object. Keep that thought in your back pocket as we move forward.
All right, Section 1, the evidence all around us, seeing the maker's handiwork. Before we can understand anything else about our world, we really have to look around at this incredible universe we live in. And when we do, we realize that it is absolutely full of undeniable evidence. Evidence carefully left for us to observe by the maker himself. I mean, we see things every day that we kind of take for granted. You know, the blazing sun? Think about that. It heats our entire planet from millions of miles away. The vast, starry night sky that is so massively huge it literally boggles the human mind. The deep, powerful oceans with those crushing waves, the towering mountains, and the unbelievably complex animals all over the earth. Look, these aren't just random accidents. These magnificent elements of creation clearly and constantly show God's immense power and his invisible nature to absolutely anyone who just takes the time to look.
Moving on to Section 2, Understanding God's Righteous Wrath, a serious response to sin.
So we really need to understand how a perfectly just and holy Creator responds when people completely ignore all of this obvious, beautiful evidence he gave us. Let's look right at Romans chapter 1, verse 18. It says, "For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men." I really encourage you to treat this like a chalkboard right now and work on memorizing these crucial words. It's basically the foundation for understanding why the world is the way it is today. And remember, God's wrath isn't like a human just losing their temper. It is his perfect, totally just response to sin.
Okay, so what does ungodliness actually mean in everyday life? Let's build up our reading comprehension here. Ungodliness is living as if God doesn't exist or just doesn't matter. It means looking right at the masterpiece, completely ignoring the Creator who made everything, and flat out refusing to honor him. When we define it clearly like that, we can understand exactly why God's righteous wrath is revealed.
I want to pause right here for a quick moment. Think about it. What does Paul say God's wrath is revealed against? I'm going to give you a beat of silence to mentally answer this before I give it away. All right, did you get it? According to the scripture we just read, God's wrath is revealed against all ungodliness and unrighteousness.
Up next, Section 3, the foolish exchange, trading the truth for a lie.
Now, we're going to investigate a massive, totally illogical mistake that humanity made, despite having all of this brilliant evidence right in front of their faces. It's truly a tragedy of human history. But first, let's do a quick check on our learning. Think back to our earlier points. How has God shown people his power and nature? Remember our list? The mountains, the oceans, the stars. God's power was clearly seen directly through the things he meticulously made. He didn't hide. He put his power on full display right there in the masterpiece.
But here is where things go completely off the rails. Let's walk step by step through this tragic progression found in Romans 1. Step 1, people saw the evidence in creation. They looked up, they saw the sun and the stars. Step 2, despite seeing it, they refused to honor God as God or even give him thanks. And because of that stubborn refusal, look at Step 3. They became foolish in their thinking. Their minds actually went dark. Which leads us to the final, tragic Step 4. They started worshiping created idols instead of the Creator. Do you see the logic here? Ignoring the clear evidence leads directly to foolish thinking.
And honestly, this next example brilliantly illustrates how silly that exchange really is. The true creator versus created things. Think of it like this. Imagine you get a text message on your smartphone from your absolute best friend telling you they bought you front row tickets to your favorite concert. Would you start hugging and thanking your smartphone? "Oh, thank you so much, iPhone. You're so generous." No way, that's just foolish. The phone is just the object that delivered the message. You thank the friend who sent it. Well, worshiping nature instead of God is exactly like thanking the smartphone instead of the friend.
So hitting pause again for a little Socratic questioning. What mistake did people make instead of worshiping the true God? Take a second. The mistake was exchanging God's glorious truth for a total lie. They chose to worship mere images made to look like created things, birds, animals, reptiles, instead of the Maker who crafted the entire universe.
Which brings us to Section 4, Honoring the Creator, Giving Credit Where It Belongs.
Look, learning to properly honor the true maker of the masterpiece isn't just some dusty theology lesson. It is a critical life skill. So here's my challenge directly to you. This is your lesson activity. I want you to grab a piece of paper right now. You've got two choices. You can either draw something in creation that shows God's power, maybe a massive thunderstorm, the crashing ocean, or those stars we talked about. Or if drawing isn't your thing, write a clear, declarative sentence explaining exactly why the Creator alone deserves our worship instead of the things He created. Take some time later today to actually do this, okay? It'll really cement this truth in your mind.
And finally, Section 5, True Wisdom for Life, the Godly Learner Philosophy. As we start to wrap up today's instruction, I really want to connect this biblical truth directly to you, an 8th grader, and why we even bother to study and seek education every single day. Look at this foundational scripture from Romans chapter 8. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Now, carnally minded basically means focusing only on the physical, created stuff, staring at the canvas instead of the artist. But when we keep our minds spiritually centered on God, the true artist, it leads to genuine life and lasting peace.
At HeroesMart Academy, we deeply believe in the Godly Learner's philosophy. We intentionally intertwine biblical morality with education for a very specific, absolutely crucial reason. Because education and intelligence without morality can actually hurt you, and it can hurt others. If you just get smarter without getting closer to God, well, you basically just become a more capable fool. Knowledge and intelligence should help you make wise, God-honoring choices. Your education absolutely must be paired with biblical morality so you can truly pursue godly wisdom. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative question to chew on. Will you use your intelligence today simply to become more capable, or will you use it to seek truth and honor the masterpiece maker? As an 8th grader stepping into more advanced studies, I strongly encourage you, pursue academic excellence with everything you've got. But always, always keep your mind firmly centered on God, truth, wisdom, and righteous choices. Don't worship the canvas, honor the artist. Have a fantastic day of learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.